What up? This is Robert Horry.
Or three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Horry for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Horry from downtown.
Welcome. Now that everybody's working and all things are plugged in and connected, let's call it episode 224 of the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. I'm Rob Jenners. That, of course, the namesake of our show, 7-time NBA champion, Robert Horry. And your 7 rings are going to come into play this week on this week's game. So that should be fun. We'll see how that goes. How are you, sir?
I want to apologize to you guys. I put it in my queue, and I was going to send you guys something. So I just hit send. So, and then what I sent you is what someone sent it to me, and so I sent it out to Big Fella, and I said I was about to put my hands on you because it's a video of us in college playing against each other.
Oh yeah, I see it here. Yeah. Shaq and Robert Horry battle in college, LSU versus Alabama.
It more went like a battle, like Shaq dunks all over Robert Horry. I'm like, get out you got to wear. I was wearing like 215 in. I was getting the fuck out the way.
Shaq destroys Robert Horry.
And I sent that to Big Fella, and then like 15 minutes later, I get a FaceTime from him. He's like, man, I needed that laugh today.
Oh, goodness. We ain't talked to him in a minute, dude.
I know.
I know.
He said he's traveling a lot. He was in New York at the time. So.
Yeah, and he's been in New York, and him and I talked maybe like about, probably about three weeks ago or something. He was in New York filming a TV show. And then he's been doing like these music festivals all summer. I saw him the other day on tour somewhere doing the DJ Diesel stuff. So he's kind of been everywhere.
You know, it's to me, I was like, man, I want some time to just do nothing. I know he probably enjoys that to the utmost, but
he does.
I like doing nothing. So I just want to sit down, watch a good TV series or a movie. Speaking of movie, I was very impressed with Pickup, the new Eddie Murphy and Pete.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
I've seen the stuff for it, but I haven't seen it.
I went in with an open mind. It was actually really funny. Yeah.
Okay. Dude, Pete Davidson's not bad, man.
Yeah, Pete Davidson is good.
Pete Davidson is good. I thought he did a really good job as Mirage in the Transformers movie. Mm-hmm. He was very funny. And then I don't know if either of you have seen Bupkis on. It's on Peacock. It's a show basically like about Pete Davidson's life, and he plays himself. And dude, it's fucking hysterical. Joe Pesci's his grandfather, and dude, it is wildly hilarious. It is really, really funny. He does a good job. What's going on in the world, man? How are you? Everything good?
Oh, man, I can't complain. I just
How was Mama's trip?
Mama's trip was good. We went to the Dodger game, went to the casino, we went to the mall. And by that time, she was like, I need to go home. I miss Alabama.
She misses the quiet pace of things in Alabama.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, she had a good time, man. That's the most important time.
That's fun.
The most important thing.
Good. NBA schedule dropped a little bit this week. We got the teasers. Actually, I think the full thing drops Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. But no, we got some little notes here for some Christmas Day games and some openers and stuff. Opening night. Interesting one, which I thought was smart. I mean, the NBA always does a good job kind of making the first few kind of stand out. You're going to get opening night. You're going to get the Houston Rockets with Kevin Durant at the Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously his old team, and he's going to be there on ring night. So he gets to see them get their rings. He gets to see the banner go up.
Hold on. How are they having ring night that late into the –
No, it's opening night.
Opening night. I thought it was Christmas.
Night. Oh, no, not Christmas.
Day.
No. This is opening night. I think October 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be opening night in the NBA. And it's going to be the Rockets, Katie and the Rockets, at Oklahoma City. So they're going to get the banner. I think they get the rings that night, right? I know the banner goes up that night.
Yeah, they get the rings that night.
Okay, there you go. And then Durant's got to kind of be there for that and sort of, I don't think it hurts him, and he's got 2. You know what I mean? It's not, but it's like what could have been. It's almost like that. Oh man, almost got this done.
No, it's almost like, see, if you'd have stayed here, you could have been the first to put up a banner, but you wanted to go on to greener pastures. So you thought.
We got to see two of them go up, so it wasn't like he was really, he was starved for a win or anything like that.
Yeah. He got his two. I mean,
But it's always something special when you get the first for franchises never won anything. Because now you got to think about you the first. Like, think about it, Houston. They ain't won a championship. They ain't won a championship since we left in 95. But the guys that were on that team, those 8 main guys, are still loved by that city because you brought the first championship to that city. So even though they probably love Durant, he's kind of getting pushed to the side by Caruso, SGA.
I can't believe you put Caruso first on that list. Good for you.
Because he just got married, man. You got to give the guy some love. He just got married.
Forget Jalen or SGA. No, Alex Caruso, the heartbeat of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's like Scotty Barnes, the face of the league. That's funny.
We love who we love, man.
No, dude, nothing against Caruso. Caruso's he's a battler, man. He's a scrapper. Yeah. He's been through it. He's been through it with a few teams.
He's an intricate part of that team.
He is. No, and I don't mean to discount him. I did find it hysterical that after they won, he was like, look, I got a real one. Kind of taking a dig at the Lakers. It was like, all right. And there's someone else taking a shot at the bubble for no good reason.
That's got to die. That's got to die. That needs to be laid to rest. It's a real title, y'all. Only reason you discredit it because the Lakers won it. That's all.
No, but the fact that Caruso even said that, but I'm all right with it because I get what he's saying, but still, though, dude, you don't stab your damn self in the heart.
I know.
Like, damn.
That's your first title too, bud. You know what I mean? Like, crapping on your own ring.
So if someone wants to ask him, hey, Caruso, how many rings do you have? What do you say to him?
He's got 2.
No, I get you. I believe he has 2. And the real
what does he say? Yeah, he says he has 2, of course.
Not if you sit up there and say, well, I finally got a real one.
But the crazy part about the bubble championship, everybody was even playing. That's why I look at it. I say everybody had the same situation. Everybody had the same amount of fans.
Yep.
It was just ballers versus ballers, So
it's true. It's true. You are going to get the Golden State Warriors at the Lakers on opening night as well. So Lakers get Golden State in the opener. That's not bad. And then a smart move. It looks like, and the rumor is, opening game for the Mavericks is going to be they're going to be hosting the Spurs. So the top 2 picks. You can get Cooper Flag and Dylan Harper. And then the return of hopefully Wembenyama there, all on opening night. So that's a nice matchup on opening night. That'll be fun.
That's great. That's a great lineup. That's like a great appetizer for the rest of the season.
Smart. I mean, good. The NBA is always good at this. The NBA is very good at okay, we're going to pick our,
Who are the Knicks playing? The Knicks are playing someone important too.
On the opener?
Yeah.
I didn't see the Knicks one. I do know the Knicks are playing the Cavaliers on Christmas.
Okay.
We got our Christmas Day games. Yeah. So the full schedule we're going to get on Thursday. This is the stuff that has been basically, sprinkled out there for Shams to go ahead and report to the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone's ringing in here. I got to turn that crap off. And then I saw on Christmas Day, you get the Cavs at the Knicks. So that's a start. It's a place to start. And this is going to be, by the way, the only marquee Eastern Conference matchup of the entire Christmas Day. Everything else is in the West. Spurs at the Thunder. That'll be fun. Rockets at the Lakers. Another good one. Mavericks at the Warriors, and Minnesota at Denver. Those are your Christmas Day games. Celtics are off on Christmas Day for the first time in a decade.
They should.
Well, you know why? They anticipate them not being that good without JT. Hey, Brandon, B-Dog, I got a question for you.
What's up?
So you deep dive in the industry of knowing reporters and all that. So how in the hell is Shams the inside reporter for the NBA? How did he become?
Well, you remember Shams before he got here. He was doing that with the Athletic, with Stadium.
Mm-hmm. He was doing it for Yahoo too, wasn't it?
And Yahoo at one point, even before then. So, he built up a reputation as kind of like the opposite of what Woj was. And then, you saw their battles on social media, on Twitter. Most people, and some of those things are manufactured because Woj would drop big news, and then you would see at some point in time this guy by the name of Shams would be dropping big news as well. And some people, and that's how it gets traction. It's like, hey, Woj is still the man, but there's this dude over here at Yahoo and over here at the Athletic and that stadium who got the same kind of insight. Matter of fact, he dropping news before Woj. What's going on?
So you think that the Athletic was dropping someone some like favors in order to get like, hey, I got this guy Shams. Can you? Because it always amazed me how it's like always just one guy that the league said, okay, you my insider. How did you get that damn insider job? That's because a lot of players, but the thing is, the players don't even like half these dudes that get these jobs.
Oh no, man! I think most of his connections are management, general managers.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. What was the guy that nobody liked went over to boxing? For my era. Jim,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and why can't I place his name? Damn it! He used to be the writer. He would write for the LA. Oh crap! This is gonna piss me off now.
Yeah,
there are people yelling at their phones right now because they know it and we don't.
I know his name. I just remember Jim, and nobody liked him, but he always had inside information. There's like a lot of these guys, and then you have the reporters that could walk into a locker room, and everybody loves this. Yeah,
Jim Lampley.
No, that's a different one. Not Jim Lampley. It's the other one. He was all basketball. Then he went over to boxing. He was always in the ring with the guys. Not Lampley, but because I don't remember. But it's so many reporters out there. Like myself, I guarantee you, there's a lot of players that like you when you walk into the locker room. And why don't you have the ability to have the inside scoop from the players? And when it's like the players don't like half these dudes that have the inside scoop. I don't understand how that works.
Well, I also think some of these guys also understand how to play the game to where they understand who this guy works for. And they understand the network that he works for. And they do understand the level of notoriety and popularity that he may have. So you could possibly not like a dude, but, you do what you have to do because of the network that he works from and the obligation that you may have to said network. Now, there are certain guys out there who just don't care. I don't care who you work for or whatever, but they know who you are. They're familiar with you.
Yeah.
And so
Jim Gray. Jim Gray was the guy's name. Yeah.
Jim Gray. Damn it.
Yeah.
Lampley was the immediate. As soon as I Googled HBO boxing Jim Lampley popped up. Jim Lampley.
But that comes from the relationships that you build with league officials, GMs. That's how you develop your sources. My sources say, league officials say that I'm close to say that comes with time, and that comes with you grinding and being trustworthy. Like people got to be able to also trust you with information. Like Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter is just like that, but with football. And there have been times where he's broken other news in other sports. Adam Schefter is trusted by league officials.
Yeah. But my whole thing is like, if Mike Wilborn came out with something, I would trust him before I trust Shams because he's been there for generations.
He has, but he's not. Wilborn is not an insider.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though, he technically can be an insider.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on really who you know. If you have some guys just have good connections. Now, Shams' job is to be on top of that news. So I think a lot of these teams, and they want to keep up PR relationships with companies like ESPN and Yahoo and The Athletic and stuff. When they have news, can they leak it to like a Wilborn or somebody else that can go out and run with it? Yeah, sure. But I think in a lot of cases they go, well, we want the ESPN coverage. So let's lean it to Shams and make sure Shams is the guy that puts it out, or at least confirm it to him before everybody else gets to run with it. While I respect Shams and I respect, Shefty and a lot of these guys that do that for a living, I have this on the sheet today. I'm gonna jump ahead to it. I wouldn't want those jobs because Shams talked about this week. Here's Shams talking about how his personal life has suffered because of having to be that guy.
I've had to walk out on dates. Like I've had to walk out on like social events, a lot of social events.
Very well.
My friends don't really like me. That's why it's very hard to have a consistent relationship because it's just like, the time that requires and the time that they deserve rightfully. And there are just moments where I'm just always going to choose this.
He's right. So it was Shams, it was Adam Schefter, Jeff Passan, who covers Major League Baseball, all those guys kind of sitting down and doing that conversation. So I think if there's a group of dudes that could probably relate to that, it's probably those guys. Because I can't imagine how many times Adam Schefter's been interrupted in the middle of like a kid's birthday party or wherever the hell you are on a date with your wife, and it's like, nope, honey, I gotta go sit outside for 20 minutes in the car and write up this quick piece for ESPN because it's breaking and we have to have it first. I would never want that job.
First of all, you knew the job was dangerous when you took it, so don't complain about it.
Oh, I don't think he's complaining. I think he's just giving you like a look inside of, man, I've walked out, and I can imagine that walking out on a date. Like you're on a nice date, you're having a nice time, something breaks, and you're like, sweetheart, this was a lot of fun. I got to bounce. Luka just got traded to the Lakers. I got to go.
You got to bounce and say, hey, go to the bar, have a couple of cocktails. Let me write this up real quick, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, but I think for somebody who you may be out with who it's one thing for them to know who you are, but then it's another thing when you're actually faced with what they have to do. Because when you're in the middle of a date and you're having a good time and somehow, some way the date has to end because some breaking news has occurred out of the blue. Breaking news does not care what Woj or Shams or anybody's doing.
Or any of these guys,
they don't care. Because whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and you have to be there to report it. Here's the thing.
It ain't like he a fucking cop, where a cop's sitting there with his wife or a detective, or he got to go because there's been something. Dude, it's a fucking, you got to write this report. And now with the voice notes, it's quicker. You ain't got to do like old school and write that shit down.
I think you are really selling this guy short too, though. Not only does he have to write it up, he's then got to get on television. Like ESPN is like, great, you got to hit in 5 minutes. Get in front of a camera quick. You know what I mean?
And Rob, I also think you forget. Look, I would see. This is my thing with what I'm surprised about you. I would think as a former athlete who was gone a lot and had a lot of responsibility, but also to a degree, who's also in the media now as well, you would kind of understand and have some understanding about what it is that kind of goes into what they have to do. This is not dudes just on a local level. They're on a national scale. They're covering an entire league, not just a team.
I understand that, but let me ask this question. How many major things happened last season? Breaking news. In what sport? In basketball. That he really had to like. It's 365 days in a year.
Right.
And so if you think about last year, you had, 5 major trades maybe? So you try to tell me when he's out on a fucking date, is every time something major happens?
But it's not just major. I don't think it's just major because what's going to happen is you could have something very minor happen, but I may have to get in touch with Woj to understand the ramifications of this and how it could affect other things. He has a job to do. It's not just breaking news and just breaking trade news. It's also about understanding how this changes the landscape of the league for now and years to come. He wears a lot of hats. All of them do.
Oh, I'm not discrediting what they do.
Oh, no, it sounds like you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. Don't sit up in here and play the fucking violin for me because you knew what you took on, and don't like, well, I can't even go on a date. All my friends don't like me. Shit, if I'm one of your friends and some shit you got to walk out breaking news, I'm sitting there when you first come back like, man, what the fuck just happened? Your friends gonna love you, so that's some bullshit there, Lotto.
I think you're looking at. I hear you, but I think you're looking at it from the chair that you're sitting in. You're like I said, you're not the woman that's on a date with him. So just because, yes, I don't think he's asking
let me just say,
violin.
I'm so charismatic that a woman gonna sit there 45 minutes till I get back.
Oh,
if I gotta go take care of my job.
Holy cow! Widen the door for Rob's ego. Hold on,
this guy right here.
Get this thing in. That's
like
great.
That's one of the reasons. I think Woj stepped away. He said, I wanted to do other things that didn't take up all of my time. Now, granted, he's held that role down for a long time. Mm-hmm. But after a while, see, Shams is at least young enough to be able to still move around and understand the grind. But I think when you get to a certain age and the wear and tear of whatever that position calls for, that takes a toll on you because you realize you look up and you haven't really lived the life that you wanted to live because your whole life has been this role.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, again, some jobs just eat you up, and I imagine that's probably one of them. That's just because of the nature of what you have to do. And you got to think, too, every time somebody signs a deal, every time somebody just extends somewhere, I mean, he's got to have it first. So it's not even like you can wait 5 minutes. It's like, you got to have it now. I don't care what you're doing. Put it down. You're on a roller coaster. Guess what you're doing on the roller coaster? You're writing up this tweet and you're getting it posted because it needs to go out. So, yeah, I don't know.
You know what? We should have one of them on just to kind of give Rob an understanding because he ain't hearing this from us.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to.
Hey, I get what you're saying. I totally understand it's a hard-ass job, but my whole point is you knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
Sure.
Don't fucking complain about it.
Okay.
That's my point.
You're right. Yeah. I don't think he's complaining as much as he's explaining.
Oh, you might be right on that one.
Yeah, just kind of, and again, I think he's on a panel there with at least three other dudes who do the same job as him in different sports that can empathize, that are like, oh, yeah, I promise you, Shefty's had to blow up stuff in his personal life because something happened in the NFL. And he's been like, I'm at my kid's birthday party. We're about to blow out the candles, and I'm in the corner writing a tweet because that's my life. You know what I mean? So if there's anybody that at least understood that, it was probably those dudes.
But here's the thing, though. Also, last point.
Oh, okay.
If it's breaking news, that means you only have this news. And you can't wait 5 minutes to blow the candles out.
Oh,
and
somebody else going to do it. Oh, no. Somebody else going to. Before you get that tweet out, man, somebody going to try and trump you and go, I had it before Shams did. You know what I mean? Like, for some reason, we live in this world right now where you have to be first. And it is annoying as shit because everyone cares more about being first than they care about it being right. You know what I mean?
If you ain't first, you last.
But
Thank
here's
you,
the
Ricky
thing.
Bobby.
They're not always first, and they tend to give credit to whoever had the news first.
That's true,
But here's the thing: it's not just about breaking news on social media. They then got to go on TV.
Yeah. Then they got TV hits all day.
How many times have we seen? And obviously we can move on from this. How many times? I don't know if y'all watch Pat McAfee show. How many times have we seen Adam Schefter in the car with AirPods on the Pat McAfee show? All the time. They're always somewhere having to do a hit on TV somewhere. It may not always be in the studio, but I got my phone, I got my iPad, and I got my AirPods. I'm on TV. And that's what some of them have to do.
True. Or you can just schedule like 3-4 days a week like Rob and saunter into the studio when you feel like it. Enjoy the green room, eat the food, talk on TV for like 20 minutes.
Hey, they took our food and I'm still pissed off about that. Now I got to pay for my own shit.
well, that's a bone to pick with Spectrum another day.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of people that like to talk a lot, and I don't know if there's any validity to it. Guys know who Ethan Skolnick is?
Why does that name sound familiar?
He's an NBA writer and a reporter.
Okay.
He writes mostly for the Heat, but he's written for like a lot of the rest of the league and stuff. They had him on Sirius XM this week on NBA radio. And they were talking about the Lakers and LeBron and this being, the last year of his deal with all that stuff with the Lakers. And he had this to say about LeBron James. I just kind of wanted to get your take on it.
It feels to me the Lakers want to get out of LeBron James' business, that they want to pivot. He doesn't like to not be celebrated in that way. It just feels like he recognizes he's not their priority anymore, and that has created some of this tension and friction. And that's why we've seen what Rich Paul has come out and said and sort of hinting things in this regard. But here's the problem, though, is it does seem that at least for the time being, they're kind of stuck with each other in the sense that there really aren't that many teams out there that could, really have sort of the desire for LeBron, even though he's playing at a high level. No question about that. But there's only so many teams I think that would have the inclination to go after him that also have the pieces to make the thing work and that he would want to go to. And that's the big issue.
So, as a guy that covered the Heat, knows a little bit about LeBron from, that sort of standpoint. But I don't get the vibe that the Lakers are trying to pivot away from him as much as they're just trying to go, okay, we have to think about what life is like after LeBron James.
That's what I said. It's like preparing for the future. We know LeBron James is 41 years old, and he ain't got many years left. And I've been asked that question so many times. Are the Lakers going to trade LeBron? I said, LeBron James made what, $52 million? And so you got to add another 8 to that because Bronny James is because he ain't going nowhere, Bronny, because then that's $60 million right there. So you both of them got to go because the Lakers are not going to keep Junior if LeBron is gone. So That's what you have to think about. And teams around the league aren't going to destroy their team to bring in a guy who's going to play maybe 1-2 years. GMs now think on the broader picture. We got to think about what's to happen down the line. We got to prepare, even though sometimes they prepare like, oh, we got to set up all these picks so it'll pay off like it did for OKC and get these chips, get that chip. So, but people need to stop with this narrative that, oh, they're trying to move on from LeBron. LeBron, if LeBron wanted to move on, he would have opted out. And it's not like he needs the money. You know what I mean? He would have opted out and moved on and went somewhere else. So they need to just stop with this whole scenario.
Yeah. They went into this season operating on multiple timelines here. And the timeline that has the most runway, obviously, is Luka, because he's younger. And I think LeBron also has to understand, look, most players have egos. And we know LeBron, not saying that he's not a nice guy, and we all know that he's an amazing father. But I think we all know that LeBron, with him being the magnitude of player that he's always been, man, got an ego. And he would love to be celebrated and seen as a priority, which I think he still is. He's LeBron James. There's nowhere in the world he can't be a priority. However, you're 41 years old, and it wouldn't be right for the Lakers as an organization to continuously and consistently put all of their eggs into the LeBron James basket when you know they just traded for a 26-year-old Luka, and they have that timeline to work on. So you can't build everything around you. Number two, the man got he has a no trade clause, I believe, doesn't he? I believe he does he have a no trade clause?
Oh, no.
I don't know if a lot of guys in the NBA have those.
I think it may be only two, Bradley Beal and maybe one other person. LeBron may not, but at the same time.
Bradley Beal don't even have one anymore.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, even if he doesn't have a no trade clause, because he's LeBron, if he really wanted to go somewhere else, I would assume him and his people and his team and Rich Paul and them would be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to saying, hey, I think LeBron wants to move on.
Well, according to Google, by the way, the AI says the only NBA player with a no-trade clause in their contract currently is LeBron James.
I thought so.
He's the only one.
So my thing is, not only has he not really said he wanted to be traded, he gets to determine where he goes. So him and the Lakers are stuck with one another because the team in which he wants to go to, they're going to be unwilling to give up really almost anything to get him for what? One at the best 2 seasons?
And what are you getting of those 2 seasons? You know what I mean? And it's not that he's declined. Again, to Skolnick's point in his clip, he's still playing at a really high level.
Yeah.
But you're still getting LeBron James at the back end of his career. And there's no other way to really frame that. Because the guy's not going to play till he's 50. I mean, well, who the hell knows what the shape he's in, what he does with his body. But, I mean, it's only, I mean, like we've talked about 100 times, and Rob has said it, I mean, Father Time's undefeated. So it's only a matter of time before things start to kind of come down on him. And my thing is, if it's really about ego and it's about celebration, announce your retirement. Because the minute you do that, oh my God, everywhere you go, the league's going to throw flowers at your feet. And they're going to have parades, and they're going to have celebratory videos on the big screen for you, and people are going to give you gifts, and everywhere you go, you're going to get the farewell tour. You're going to get the Kobe tour. You know what I mean? And if that's what you want, then if it's about ego, announce that you're going to hang them up in a year or whatever it is. End of the season is going to be my last season. I'm going to retire as a Laker, and just watch everything come back to you.
Hey,
so,
Rob, you remember that clip that came out with them at dinner and you're hearing them in the background talk? Outside of that's part of the job, even though it's a shame somebody can't go out to eat without a phone being active. I really think a lot of this is going to come down to Savannah. I think she's going to be the one to say, all right, babe, it's time to hang it up. I know you're in great shape. I know you still love the game. I know you can still do this, but you played for a very long time. I think it's really time. You have nothing else to prove. We ain't hurting for money. We ain't been hurting for money ever. So I think it's really time for you to kind of hang this up and let's move on into the second phase of our life. And watch your sons, help them move up and do what they need to do, but let's move into the second phase of our life.
Hey, man, I'm going to say this. Harper, there ain't a wife out there, I don't think, that's ever went to the hub and said, hey, you got to hang it up. We see what happened with the guy down in Tampa Bay. You want me to hang it up? I'm out.
That was one of the reasons they divorced.
But my whole point is, it's like, I think, at the end of the day, wives know that this is their husband's dream. This is what they live for. This is what they die for. And I don't think any wife out there would say, yo, walk away from your dream. I know they can probably, you're going to go for your wife and say, what you think I should do? Even when I got to a point and I was told my first wife, I'm thinking about calling it quits. She said, are you sure? She said, you could be bored as shit around the house. I'm like, I said, my feet hurt. My feet hurt. I want to hang out with the kids more. By the time he thinking LeBron James kid's going to be in college. Well, one in out of college, but, he got his daughter, there, but his son, he in college now by the time. So, like, when you get to college, you like, man, like, take my son, a Christian. I ain't seen that motherfucker. I ain't seen it forever. And he right down the street of UCLA. Kids move. Once you go to college, kids become grown adults. But I'm just saying, though, it's hard for a wife to tell a person whose dream, and that's all they ever thought about, all they ever want to do, to tell them, like, it's time to leave your dream in the dust.
No, I don't think it's like, let me preference this. I don't think it's one of them, hey, you just need to hang it up. But I do, if I had to guess, this is just me guessing because everybody has their opinion and I got mine too. So I do think I think he does take what she says very, 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 very seriously from the standpoint of, I think she's been so supportive for quite some time. And I think he really does value the fact that, hey, like you said, what do you really think I should do? And here's the thing, the man been golfing a lot lately. So I don't think he's going to be bored in retirement. That man going to find a tee time at any time.
I'm just saying what my wife told me.
Oh, yeah. Why you never picked up golf? Why did you never pick up golf, Rob?
Bad shoulder.
Oh, that's right.
I can't swing like that. That hurts.
Okay,
so
got it.
It's weird. I can do this all day. Like I'm shooting a shot, but I can't swing through.
Got it.
I can get in and I can get, doctor's like, we can go in and clean it up. I'm like, is that a guarantee? He's like, nope. Well, I ain't getting cut on for no fucking reason. I don't need to get cut on just to play golf. Mm-mm.
To me, that's pro athlete translation for I wasn't very good. That's why I didn't pick up golf. I wasn't that good. So I'm going to blame it on a bum shoulder, maybe a knee.
I go play pickleball.
There you go.
Hey,
the sport that got Luka in shape, man.
Yeah.
I like that game. I play a little.
No, it's fun. Dude, it's fun.
I like playing, but I'm not as competitive as some of the people you play against.
My God. It's become people's entire personalities.
Yeah.
Like, there's folks we know, they're like, we pickleball 3 nights a week, and then on the weekends we have a league, and I'm like, I just want to go out there and kind of hit the thing back and forth a few times, and I'm good. That's all I need to do. I'll play a little. But yeah, Luka.
But
apparently that was Luka's, wasn't that the story? That was like his whole off-season routine was like pickleball. I do, speaking of off-season routines, did want to bring this up. I did see this pop up this week and thought it was pretty cool. Wemby training with Kevin Durant. I just thought that was like a unconventional pairing because Wemby doesn't come across to me in any way like the same type of a player as Kevin Garnett. I mean, mentally, physically, they feel like very completely different players in that sense. Defensively, okay, they line up probably, but like just the way they both approach the game, very different. And to see him out there with KG, I thought was actually kind of cool because that might give him a little. You might get some kind of a different form of Wemby this year.
I hope so.
If he comes in with that kind of attitude, man.
Yeah. I think, with the KG, sometimes your mentors kind of, come off on you a little bit. And I think with him, you need a little that nasty in you, like a little dog. Because we know Wemby ain't got no dog in him. And you need that KG dog in you to come off. And so you be like, punch someone in the mouth, yell at someone, get in someone's grill like KG was. So, but hopefully, but you really think about it. The body types, I know I'm not talking about height, is something similar when KG first came in the league. They got those face-up games. They got nice jump shots. And so that's a good pairing for me. I like that. If he's going to really, deep dive into the situation and try to learn as much as he can from KG.
Wemby has had an eventful summer.
Yeah. He was training with monks.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that Wemby has done that I would have never had on that bingo card. But whatever he's getting from whatever he's doing, we know that he's cleared and he's healthy from the blood clot situation. Whatever he's doing in the offseason that he feels as though can help his game going into his third season. Yeah. So, I'm all for it. And I think being with somebody like KG with his attitude, because we know Wemby barely say anything, and KG got everything to say. So I think, Wemby might do a little bit more trash talking this season. We'll see.
I would love it. Mm-hmm. I would love to see a little bit, like to Rob's point, I'd like to see a little bit more dog in Wemby. I would like to see him go after some folks, just shut a few people down. But he doesn't seem like he's that guy, man. He just seems like he's more of a Tim Duncan, the quiet, reserved, go about my business type of player. So I don't know. That's why I thought the pairing was kind of unique, because I was like you said, Harp, like KG got everything to say to everybody, and Wemby doesn't say much of anything. So maybe maybe it gets a little bit. And I did also see, was kind of interesting, was Rui training with sumo wrestlers in Japan this week. Like we are in the era of the unconventional, pickleball, sumo wrestlers, and and monks. Unconventional off-season if I've ever seen one.
Hey, I hope Rui decides to push some people around, because he damn sure don't be doing it.
Well, I mean, that's all that is, right? That's all sumo is. It's just find the biggest dude on the floor and push his ass. That's all it is, man. You get out there and push some people. I want to, before we get off Wemby real quick, I want to bring up Chris Broussard real quick, because we kind of cooked Nick Wright a little bit, justly so, on the Friday show last week for his take on Kobe not being in his GOAT conversation. But Nick is part of that show with Chris Broussard. I think it's called First Things First on FS1. I like Broussard a lot. I think Chris Broussard is a good dude, very smart. He had sort of a very big expectation for Wemby going into the season. So I'm just going to play a quick clip of Broussard.
These are my expectations for him. One of the best players ever. I'm not going to go GOAT conversation. One of the best players ever.
So what does that mean, Brew? Just to dig down.
Okay,
like
here's what it means. No. Because top 20 is Kevin Durant. If he's Kevin Durant, if he's Hakeem Olajuwon, he has not met expectations.
Okay, well that's why the expectations are too high.
His expectations are to have a career like LeBron, Jordan, Duncan, Shaq, or Kareem. That's what the expectations are.
Well, then they're too high.
I agree with Nick right there. The expectation, if that's the expectation, that's probably too high for a kid going into his third year in the league. Now, we know he's got tools that not a lot of people have. We've talked about that. But I don't know if I'm quite setting the bar that high for that young man.
I think for me, I'm setting the bar pretty high just because of his skill set at this age. We set that bar for LeBron James when he was, even though it was not fair, but we thought, generational players can do exceptional things. We kind of even said that about Zion, even though he kind of filtered out. You think about it, we said that about KD when he came in. We said that about a lot of players, and we expect a lot because we want that next great player. You think about how much every time someone comes out, oh, he's the next. It's never like, oh, he's the next, Robert Horry. It's like they always someone that's like Hall of Fame and great. They're like, oh, he's the next Olajuwon, he's the next Jordan, he's the next Kobe. Because we want that next exciting player that's going to carry us for not just 1 or 2 years, but for decades. And I think if you look at what he's displayed so far in his first couple of years, we can see what his ceiling can be without injury and whatever may happen. And we see that organization that he's in, that they produce winners, that they produce guys who are accepted into the league. So I think that's why I'm expecting him to do great things. You think about it. He could be like Charles Barkley, be one of the greatest players ever, but not win a championship. But he did great things and made us excited to watch him. So I think when you at the bottom line, I think when you look at it, all those guys he mentioned all had championships, and you cannot base how great a guy's career is off championships.
And I also think we get into comparisons of who this guy should be and what his career should look like. We've never seen a guy quite like him. Now that we think now, when I sit there and think about the history of the league, a guy that's a true 7'5" and can do the things that he can do with the ball, being able to put the ball on the floor and things of that nature. He's different than what we've kind of ever seen. And I think it's kind of hard to kind of dictate who his career should look like. Yes, we want him to win a title or two. But I think because we've never seen anything like him, it's kind of hard to kind of pin down, hey, if he's like this person or if he's like this person, his career will either be success or failure. And to say if he's like Elijah Wan, that Elijah Wan won 2 titles. Elijah Wan's one of the greatest big men of all time. I'm not being like Elijah Wan or having a career like Elijah Wan is nothing to sneeze at. And this is what I mean by some people sometimes in their opinions. Everybody got one, but some opinions smell better than others.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Some of these, like, it's a slight at Elijah Wan that's not the person that you slight. Yeah. Elijah Wan has given Shaq the most dominant force in the NBA. He gave Shaq the business plenty of times.
Yeah.
I just don't, certain things, bro, everybody got an opinion. But like I said, some opinions smell better than others and they sound better than others. And I just don't think that one was the right one.
You're dancing around my stepfather's favorite analogy, which is opinions are like assholes. Everyone has
Everybody's
them, and
one.
most of them stink.
Most of them do. Some folk don't wash it. Some folk don't wash it.
Wow. Wash your ass. Good advice from Brandon Harper on this week's show.
That's why sometimes when you're around some folks' opinion, you start itching. They itching too because they don't wash.
Silly dude.
You're going to see this week's show called "Some Folks Don't Wash It," and you're going to understand why. Oh goodness! All right, let's do a couple more quick things, and we're going to get to this week's game, which is called Lucky 7. And it's going to have we're trying to into Rob's 7 ring. We're gonna make some fun with this, but a little bit of a different pace, change of pace in this week's game. I do want to play this clip though from Tom Brady. Did you see Tom Brady's statue?
I can't see it. Did it look like him? That's the first thing I looked at.
It looked
like him.
Yeah, it looked like him. He's doing the iconic, like, holding the helmet down and kind of giving the fist over his head move as he walks off the field. That was kind of like the infamous Tom Brady shot, the little fist bump to the crowd as he's walking off after a huge win. And as a player, Tom Brady, I got nothing but respect for him for what he did. I hated him as a player because he found a way to gut your team no matter who you rooted for. He always found a way to gut you in the worst possible scenario. He single-handedly ended my Falcons fandom. Like he killed it. He murdered it. I never came back after the Super Bowl loss ever. So as a player, I was like, I freaking hated Tom Brady. But as a guy, you got to respect everything he did for the sport. I love Tom Brady now, if not only for this comment.
But in the end, this statue isn't just for Pats fans. It'll also give all the Jets fans something to throw their beers at as they leave the stadium every year. Probably in the second quarter. Maybe the third.
I just love a shot at the Jets. It just makes my heart sing. I just enjoy it. But, deservedly so. If you're going to give anybody a statue at whatever it is, Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, whatever the hell it is, it's Tom Brady. And the next one that should go up, whether you care about him or not, is Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
I feel like that man deserves a statue out there too.
Yeah.
How many coaches in the NFL have statues outside of the guy from Dallas?
Does Don Shula? I don't know if Don Shula's got one in Miami.
I don't think a lot of coaches. I think you see more statues of coaches in college.
Yeah, because you see the Nick Saban.
Yeah, because the
Alabama.
programs, because they're the face of the programs. More so in the NFL, I understand that the logo is the face, but the athletes, certain athletes, especially quarterbacks, are the face of the organization. So,
does San Antonio have statues up? I think we've talked about this. I don't know if they do they?
I don't think so.
Because there should be one up for Pop. Like, if you're going to talk about coaches that deserve a statue, yeah, I think Pop deserves one.
There should be one for Tim.
There definitely should be one for Tim. I mean, he was the more or less the face of that group for the whole run.
Yeah.
Rob, do you think they need to put one up of the Admiral too?
I think so, because he started the culture there.
Yeah, you're right.
You think about what he was able to do, and Tim came in and just kind of followed suit. And
I don't know why they don't have that out there.
I just think because they just don't do stuff like that. They just like to fly under the radar.
I guess, but yeah, some of those dudes. Coaches that deserve a statue.
In the NBA?
In any sport.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
He needs one in two places.
I was going to say he's got to have one in L.A. and he's got to have one in Chicago. Yeah. Does Ditka have one in Chicago? Because he should. I only say that because I think he was probably the most famous coach in Chicago history. I don't know if anybody's even kind of held a candle.
What's my guy name? How about them Cowboys?
Freaking Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He won 2 Super Bowls with Dallas? 3?
3.
Tommy Lasorda.
Tommy Lasorda's a good one.
For the Cardinals?
Yeah.
No, for the Dodgers.
I mean Dodgers, yeah. I'm thinking about what's my other they used to coach for the Cardinals.
LaRusso or something like that.
Tony LaRusso. That's not bad.
I'm
surprised Joe Torre doesn't have one, maybe in New York.
Yeah.
Some of those guys I feel like, and again, if you're going to put a Brady statue up, I feel like a Belichick statue needs to go up.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Here in Atlanta, we do have a Bobby Cox statue.
We sure do. Right outside our door.
Yep.
Downstairs.
We have one.
Deservedly so. So yeah, more managers need statues.
We did our part.
we're carrying the water for the rest of y'all.
Well,
hell, the rest of you guys.
We didn't do our part on the field this season, but we did our part when it came to statues.
Oh, we put a statue up. That counts. That's something. All right, let's do a quick Big Shot of the Week, and then it's game time. Big Shot of the Week, since we're in the NFL, here you go. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Both teams getting Big Shot of the Week for a story you probably saw. Harp obviously knows it. Friday night, Detroit safety Maurice Norris was attempting to tackle Atlanta rookie Nathan Carter. He kind of went low, hit him with his helmet, and had to be taken off the field in an ambulance. It was a horrible moment in what is a preseason game for just a couple young guys trying to get some playing time. It was really ugly. So the Big Shot of the Week is going to go to both these teams because when play resumed after he was taken off the field, Falcons quarterback Emory Jones took a snap, just kind of held the ball, stood there. Both teams sort of talked at the line of scrimmage till the clock ran out, and then they did that a few times until there was about 6.5 minutes left in the game, and they just called it. They were like, all right, we're done. And they get in Big Shot of the Week because could you continue to play in a preseason game? Yeah, sure. Are there guys that probably wanted some playing time? Yeah, probably. Did the fans want to see you finish the game? I'm sure they did. Both those teams chose sportsmanship and respect over trying to finish out what is really a meaningless game in the preseason. And I just thought that deserved Big Shot of the Week because most teams would probably run out there and finish that game, and both those teams had the wherewithal to go, you know what? I think we're done.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because, we talking about a human life here. We didn't know exactly what was going on when they carted him off.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a big ups to those players and the organization and to the fans for not being upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had some that were a little like, they should have, if I paid all this money to go to this game, we should have. I'm like, come on, dude. It's preseason. Like, it doesn't count for anything. You don't need to finish this. So.
Yeah. And in ways that we talk about other form of sportsmanship, you don't get to dictate what sportsmanship looks like, or you don't get to dictate what aspect of sportsmanship you're okay with. Yeah. Because if you're going to talk about sportsman, especially for a preseason game, come on.
Yeah, dude. Like, I know guys, nothing. Yeah.
Yes, guys are still trying to make the team. Guys are still trying to figure out where they fit within the organization and trying to make a roster spot. But I also think you look at it, hey man, this game is violent. And those plays happen really quickly and really fast. And you know what? I salute y'all. Hey, I salute y'all. Let's go ahead and end this thing. Like if this was the second quarter, maybe it's different. Mm-hmm. But you talk this happened in the fourth quarter.
It happened fourth quarter. There was like 7 or 8 minutes left in the game or whatever it was. Like, yeah, come on, dude.
I get it.
And it's not often you see an ambulance on the field. Like, it's one thing to be carted off. That sucks, but it's not often they roll an ambulance out onto the field for somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if there's ever a reason to go, we're done. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Big shot.
Salute to both teams.
Yeah, good sportsmanship. All right, here we go. So I was doing a little homework online this week and just looking up stuff. And every now and then I go down this rabbit hole to figure out like what shows have been renewed and which ones haven't for the upcoming year on TV. And my wife and I watch a lot of game shows. Like I'm a game show person. So I was like, man, I wonder if Big Fella's game show, Lucky 13, got renewed. And I did a little Google homework and found out, sure enough, it did not. So shout out to Big Fella. I'm sorry your game show didn't get renewed. But we're going to steal it and keep it alive. We're going to call it Lucky 7.
So have you ever watched this show?
I have watched the show.
A little bit.
I watched one episode. Yeah.
It's a little slow for me. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of why I cut it down to 7 questions, and we're going to have a little more fun with it. They drag it out. And you know, my only big complaint was they didn't really let Shaq be Shaq on that show. He was asking all the questions, and then it was like he kind of just stood around for the second half. And it was like, you got to let him be him. You got to let him goof on people and have fun and, you know, be a big kid. And they kind of didn't do that. So, but I do like the premise of the game. So I cut it down to 7 in honor of Robert Horry's 7 rings. It's called Lucky 7. I'm going to ask Rob 7 questions. They're true or false questions. You just got to tell me if you think they're true or they're false. No timer. You just got to answer. And then I'm going to ask Harper 7 different questions, but determine true or false. Then we're just going to go through them and figure out who was right and who was wrong and who wins the game. If you manage to guess how many questions you got right, you're going to earn 3 bonus points too. Okay. So that's a bonus for you. So we'll start with Rob. This is just true or false. Just got to tell me what you think, and we'll grade you after. The first 3-point shot in NBA history was made by Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics in 1979.
False.
Okay. Number 2, Shaquille O'Neal only made 1 3-pointer in his career. It came in 1996 against the Bucks.
I think that's false.
Okay. Number 3, only 4 players have achieved the quadruple double, and 2 of them played with Robert Horry.
True.
Okay. Tony Snell once played 28 minutes in a game and recorded 0 points, 0 rebounds, true. 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks.
True.
Rob says true. Number 5, Michael Jordan is the only player to lead the league in NBA, or to lead the NBA in scoring and make first all-team defense in the same season more than once.
False.
Okay.
Oh, you said lead the league in scoring?
Lead the league in scoring and make first team all defense in the same season more than once.
That's true.
Okay.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. Number 6, Charles Barkley is the shortest player to lead the league in rebounding.
True.
Okay. And the last question for Robert Horry is, Charles Oakley had more rebounds than points in 11 different seasons.
True.
Okay. We'll come back in a minute and we'll see how you did. Brandon Harper. Here we go. Number 1, Rasheed Wallace was ejected for a game before the game even started.
True.
Okay. Number 2, Michael Jordan is the only player in history to win an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same season.
I think that's false.
Okay. Number 3, Kevin Durant is the only player to score 50-plus points for 4 different teams.
True.
Okay. Number 4, Wilt Chamberlain never fouled out of a game in his entire 14-year career.
Jesus. True.
Okay. Number 5, Meta World Peace Ron Artest once wore his shorts backwards for an entire game.
True.
Okay. Number 6, even though he was the shortest player ever at 5'3", Muggsy Bogues still blocked 39 shots in his NBA career.
Yeah, I think I answered a lot of them true. I think I may answer this true as well.
Okay. If you don't know the answer, guess C. Is that what we're going with here? All right. Last question. Only 2 players have recorded a triple-double without missing a shot. Wilt Chamberlain and Draymond Green.
Wow. False.
Okay. All right. Rob, of all the questions you answered, how many do you think you got right?
4.
Okay. Harper, of all the questions you answered, how many do you think you got right?
How many do I think I got right?
Yeah. Out of 7.
3.
Wow, he went low. All right, if you
got
get
a lot of them right.
if you get your lucky number, you're going to get a 3-point bonus. So you get 1 point for everyone you got right, and then a 3-point bonus if you get it right. So Rob, you guessed you got 4 right. Let's go real quick. The first 3-point shot in the NBA history was made by Larry Bird. You said false. That was correct. Chris Ford was the first player to make it for the Celtics in the 90s. That's a point for Robert Horry. Shaquille O'Neal only made 1 3-pointer in his career. It came in 96 against the Bucks. You said false. That was true. That was true.
I thought he made 2.
No, he only made 1 his whole NBA damn NBA career. All right, so you're 1-1. Number 3, only 4 players have achieved the quadruple double. 2 of them played with Robert Horry. They were Nate Thurmond, Alvin Robertson, Hakeem Olajuwon, and David Robinson. So it was only one.
I thought
one.
Tim Duncan got it.
Nah, only one. Only one played with Rob. So you're 1-2. You got to get 3 of these next 4 right to hit your lucky number. Tony Snell once played 28 minutes and recorded no points, no rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks. You said true. That was true. Good job. Michael Jordan is the only player to lead the NBA in scoring and make first-team all-defense in the same season more than once. You initially said false. You went back and changed it to true. And the answer was false. Kobe Bryant also did it twice. In 2006 and 2007, Michael Jordan did it 9 times. Which is freaking stupid.
But see, I thought it was that was a long ass question. Okay. It was a lot of moving parts. So.
It's got some strong blame shifting. I like that. All right, so let's see. You are currently 2 and you're currently 2 and 3. So in order for you to hit your lucky number, you got to get the final 2 questions right. Mm-hmm. Charles Barkley is the shortest player to lead the league in rebounding. You said true. That is true. He led the league in rebounding in 1991 at 6'6". Final question. You get it right, you get your bonus. Charles Oakley had more rebounds than points in 11 different seasons. You said true. That was true. So you got 4 right, and you got a 3-point bonus. That's a 7-pointer for Robert Horry. Very nice. Good job. All right, Harper, here we go on yours.
Harper, you already lost, dude.
Oh, look at you, man. You were just declaring victory.
No, because he said 3, and I know 5 of those he got right.
Oh, do you now? Okay, let's see. Rasheed Wallace was ejected from a game before the game even started. You said true. That was true. Good job.
Yeah,
that was
that
absolutely
sounds very
correct.
Rasheed Wallace-like.
Michael Jordan is the only player in history to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP in the same season. You said false, and it was false. The other player to do it was Hakeem Olajuwon in 1994. Yep. So that is 2 for Harper. You can only get 1 more right to get your lucky number. And you're 2-0 out of the gate.
Hey, when you look up self-sabotage, you'll see this.
You aimed low and you might miss. All right, Kevin Durant is the only player to score 50-plus points for 4 different teams. You said true, and that is false. Jamal Crawford is the only player to do it.
I forgot about it.
How about that?
He a bucket, boy.
He is.
It was the crossover.
All right.
He was the first person to do it, I think.
He was. I think he's the only player to ever do it, actually. Wilt Chamberlain never fouled out of a game in his 14-year career. You said true. That is true. He played 1,045 regular season games and 160 playoff games, and that joker never fouled out.
Those are 3 I knew for a fact that was right.
So you got to miss all 3 of these at the end to get your bonus and beat Rob.
Dang, I get a punishment for doing well.
No, you get a punishment for selling yourself short. You got to believe in yourself, boy.
Right.
All right. Number 5, Meta World Peace Ron Artest once wore his shorts backwards for an entire game. You said true. That was false.
He
only wore them backwards for about 5 minutes before the refs made him change
Oh.
it. He did not wear them backwards for the whole game. That is false. All right, 2 to go, and you got to get them both wrong. Even though he was the shortest player ever at 5'3", Muggsy Bogues still blocked 39 shots in his NBA career. You said true. And that was true, yeah. So that's going to be it for you. I think you're done there. And then finally, only 2 players have recorded a triple-double without missing a shot, Wilt Chamberlain and Draymond Green. You said false, and that was true. So you actually did getting that one wrong. You got 4, but you bet 3. So had you had a little more confidence in yourself, you could have tied up Rob. We could have gone to a tie.
I thought you got 5 right because I thought that our Ron Artest one was
the
true.
Ron Artest one, yeah. It was about 5 minutes before the refs were like, "Hey, man, you're wearing your shit backwards, buddy. You got to go fix that." So there you go. That's lucky 7.